welcome to episode 939 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, November 26th, 2024. I am your host, Chris Johnston. With me, as always, from Canada, Mr. Greg Zort.
AKA Father of the Year.
Father of the Year. Yeah. Charging iPhones and devices all over the place.
Mm-hmm. So
yeah,
I had a
superpowers.
Speaking of devices, I went down to my car, and I don't live on a street that's like highly trafficked or anything like that, and like I have my own driveway, so I'm not parking on the street. I went down to my car on Tuesday morning,
Mr. Fancy Pants,
and and noticed that the door was like, you know how sometimes when you like the door is closed, so the cabin light goes off, but it's not closed all the way, like it's just latched.
When is a door not
ajar?
A door.
Anyway,
Yeah.
So I got down to my car and I noticed that was like, oh, that's interesting, because I don't often do that. I would normally notice that, and so I opened my door to get into my car, and there was a phone sitting on my driver's seat.
Oh,
and we're gonna say there was a squirrel.
No.
and a lone hook hanging from the door.
A phone. Okay.
Anyway, so the screen was cracked, so I immediately assumed it was my daughter's. Thinking, okay, because my oldest daughter can drive now, so my brain just went to like, well, she borrowed the car last night, and she obviously left her phone in here, she by mistake. So I picked it up. It's like, but it's an Android phone, and my oldest does not have an Android phone; it's an iPhone.
Oh,
so it's like, okay. Then I'm thinking, well, then the only kid I have who has an Android phone is my youngest, but I know for sure she has her phone with her because I just saw her with it. So whose phone is this? So I hit the button to turn it on and saw like there's no SIM. Oh. And there was like a password to get into it, and realized that I'm pretty sure somebody slept in my car.
Oh,
I must have left it unlocked.
Oh,
and so yeah. So anyway,
was anything missing?
Nope. No damage, no smell, nothing missing, nothing left besides the phone.
Right.
So I was like, okay, didn't really know what to do with that information. So I just went to work, and when I came home, I wasn't going to leave the phone in the car, obviously. So I brought it in to the house, and I just sort of left it on the counter. I couldn't do anything with it because it's got a password. So I left it on my counter. So 3:00 in the morning, it starts ringing. Well, it's not ringing; it's an alarm. Oh, so an alarm went off at 3. So I got up and turned that off, and I then took it to my room with me so it didn't bother everybody. Alarm went off again at 3:15, and alarm went off again at 3:30.
Oh,
see, this is when I would just throw it away somewhere.
Yeah,
right. So, but leading me to think like, so this is somebody's alarm so that they know to get out of whatever vehicle they're sleeping in,
right?
Yeah, before they're discovered. Anyway, what I ended up doing was we have like a wall at the end of our property. When I went to work the next morning, I just put it on the end of that wall. And somebody took it, so and now I'm just making
little
sure
do they know
locked.
They're going to be woken up at 3:15, and 3:30.
I mean, it might have been the same person who left it,
but it might have been, yeah.
But yeah, it was disconcerting.
That's a little unusual.
Yeah.
Time to invest in some cameras.
Your
driveway.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. That would be a little creepy.
Yeah.
Well, also joining me from the great state of Washington, Mr. Phil Theobald.
Well, hello there.
Hi there.
Strangely enough, my Android phone went missing recently.
I was sleeping in Greg's car the other night.
we didn't have electricity here for a little while, so I had to go somewhere to get in from the cold.
Yeah.
So we were hit by a bomb cyclone here in the Seattle area.
Who makes a cyclone out of bombs? That seems dangerous.
A madman bent on world domination.
Elon Musk.
The full brunt of it.
Yeah. Luckily, I was spared.
Yeah, you're far enough south.
Down in the south, we were spared from the bombs.
CJ was all like Han Solo about it. It's like, we're all fine here.
We're fine. Yeah. No, I kept hearing about it.
The Seattle area just decimated for between 1 and 3 days. Basically, people did not have power.
Does that sort of weather event happen frequently out there, or?
I have not seen. I mean, I've been out here for a little over 7 years now.
Okay,
and have not had anything this kind of. I mean, I don't want to say bad. I mean, I guess a couple people did die, so it wasn't great.
Well, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's not great. It took out electricity throughout, the city and the surrounding areas. And a lot of property damage, that kind of thing. Thankfully, we didn't have any of that, but it's not common.
No,
Okay. Just I was wondering if that was a thing like around here. We always get sort of the tail end of hurricanes. So during hurricane season, every few years we'll get hit with. I don't even think we've ever been hit with what you would call a hurricane. It's like the end of it, usually down to a tropical storm by the time it gets here. But during hurricane season, we do tend to get a lot of storms. So because of the way the ocean currents work.
Right.
I don't know what happens on the Pacific coast. So
it was definitely unusual. But thankfully in my area, they were able to restore power within like a day and a half. So it wasn't too bad. But I definitely had coworkers who did not have power for 2 or 3 days. It was kind of funny going to, our office was closed because of that. One of our offices was closed. We were in a couple different towers at work. So like one of them was down. The one I am in was functioning. So I went into work and carted all my devices in
to charge.
We didn't have electricity, so I was like, "This is how I'm going to charge my phone and my iPad and everything again."
Yeah,
and the kind of common area, in like downstairs of my office looked like an airport because just like tons of people showed up and were sitting on the floor, and every little stray outlet people were charging their laptops and phones, and clearly sitting on the floor doing their work for the day. So, but
that's fun.
We got through it. We survived.
That's good.
Yes.
Our power, our lights flickered a little bit.
Oh gosh, are you okay?
That was about it.
Boy, sounds harrowing.
I still charged up all my devices. And
thank goodness.
I
texted Adrian. I was like, make sure your devices are charged. We're going to get some weather.
Yeah.
It was fine.
Did you do the dad thing? Like, we really needed this rain.
No, I didn't.
I heard that all weekend because we actually had quite a rainstorm yesterday.
Oh, really?
It has been a very dry summer here. So this is funny.
There wasn't even really that much rain.
No.
I mean, this is Seattle, so it's rainy anyway, but
it's good. Yeah.
It was pretty much mostly wind. So,
yeah. Well, Greg, we got this last week and I didn't bring it up, but Hacker Alias, It's All Jazz wants to know, they say we need a CPAP update. So, sir, you want to give us an update with your CPAP explorations?
Explorations?
Your deep sea diving at night?
I mean, you both, I think, said this, and actually a couple of my local friends who, it's funny when you bring it up because then you realize how many people are using them.
I know.
Yeah. But for some reason, no one talks about it, which kind of pisses me off because I really think we should be. So, hey, welcome to the show.
Yeah. This is
when I brought it up
CPAP
here,
podcast.
You two never mentioned that you're on these things. And
I've mentioned it before.
Yeah. Oh, well, I don't remember it. Anyway,
I've mentioned it.
I mean, again, keep in mind, I started using it like 8 years ago. So that would have been when I brought it up.
Yeah. Okay.
Mine would have been like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's life-changing. It's just like,
isn't it though?
Boy, let me tell you this. The worst part of that power going out was I didn't get to use it that night. And
you don't
there were
sleep as well.
absolutely a couple times when I woke up just like unable to breathe. And
that's the worst.
The big thing for me is that before I was using it, I didn't wake myself up.
No, I didn't either.
People
I didn't either.
Who could hear me while I was sleeping would say like, you sound like you're dying.
Oh yeah. Dana was like, she was delighted when I got mine.
Yeah. And it's funny because my buddy Jim, he keeps sending me stories about people who, not necessarily died, but just that some extremely negative things happen because of sleep apnea.
Right.
Like
most
there was
recently Imran Khan, journalist. Yeah.
Was I the one who had like a mini stroke?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the story he sent me. And
really
then he
sucks.
says like, and it's kind of touching actually, because it's like, it's not, it's a good thing you did something about it. It's like, I'm glad you did something about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's scary as hell, man. But I'm completely used to it. I still feel like I look ridiculous, but I don't really care.
Oh, of course.
But I'm completely used to it. I sleep so well. Like the thing that I really noticed, and I didn't realize this was an indicator before this that I wasn't sleeping well or that I had sleep apnea. But I would always wake up in a different position. I would thrash around a lot at night, which I just thought was normal. And for some people, it is normal. But ever since getting this, when I roll over to go to sleep, like I go right to sleep.
Yeah.
And I wake up in that position. And it's like, it's deep sleep. Before I would go, and even if I got 8 hours, well, I thought I was getting 8 hours. Like I'd get up in the morning, I'd wake up my kids so they'd get ready for school. And then I would have to go sit down and basically almost doze off. Like I just felt like I've been hit by a truck. So, and I just don't feel that way anymore.
That's great.
Yeah. It's so amazing what a difference it makes. So easy to get used to. I'm so happy.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. It's fantastic. My wife had gotten us these little shelves that like attach to the bed, like the bed frame, so that you don't have to have it on a nightstand. You can have it a little bit closer. Maybe I'll put that in the show notes. The link to that. It's very nice.
My nightstand is like
screw the shelf
right next to it, but that's a good idea.
Yeah, mine is as well. So
yeah. Well, anyway. Welcome to Old Man Corner.
Go get tested. It's so easy to get.
Get a sleep test.
The sleep test was like, I don't know how it worked for you guys, but it was a ring basically that I wore. Like that's how simple it is. I mean, there was nothing to it. I paired it to my phone. It wasn't. I guess it wasn't really a ring. It went like it was like it went over my thumb.
Vitality sensor.
Basically a vitality sensor.
Yeah.
And then just I dropped it off at the place the next day, and they analyzed the data and sent me a report. And the report was, how are you still alive? And come in and get a machine.
Yeah.
And it literally took 2 nights to get used to. The first night was awful because you had something in your face blowing air up your nose, and it just was really weird. But it took like 2 nights.
And you're used to paying for that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Used to
so you were just, how am I getting this for free? It kept you up. I get it.
You got as you get older, you got to pay for things to keep you up. That's
exactly
just how it goes.
My sleep test was like a head. You put this thing on your head, and it was terrible. It hurt. It gave me a headache. I hated it.
That was my other big concern. Yeah,
it was the worst thing, and I was so glad when that night was over. And then when I got the machine, I immediately took to it and was like, this is the greatest thing ever. And now if I travel, I need to bring it with because I need to have it.
I'm kind of afraid to sleep without it at this point. So yes, Phil, I totally see what you're saying. Like I would have been, I would have been a wreck.
I don't get restful sleep without it. Like it's just not good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Yeah. So that's the CPAP.
That's the update. That's the update.
Welcome to our video game show.
Let's take a look at the news here. And not to put you asleep, but Donkey Kong Land is available now on Switch.
So that is the old Game Boy game that came out in like the mid-90s.
Yes.
Not
after Donkey Kong
Country remake on the Game Boy Advance.
No.
Okay.
That's right.
No, this is the portable black and white version of Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah. I don't think I'll be playing this.
And it's available for those who want it.
I'm glad it's available. Yeah, exactly. For those who might have nostalgia for it. That's not me.
It's not me either.
Sometimes Nintendo has these little player profile icons that you can unlock if you play a particular NSO game. And sometimes I hop in to the NSO application and I try to download those. Anytime they have Donkey Kong Country icons, I'm like, nope. I guess I can take off this week, not deal with that, because
I didn't even know that was a thing that happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They do it pretty regularly. Like with new game releases, they do icons, and then they also do it with the NSO retro stuff really often. Yeah.
Interesting.
Kind of nice. Well, anyway, hey, Star Wars Outlaws. We all love that game, as evidenced
one of
by
the many games released in 2024 that I played for a few hours and never picked up again.
Yeah, well, you might want to pick it up again now, because that patch that had all the quality of life stuff is out and available. And as part of it, they have removed stealth from almost all quest objectives. So that is like one of the headline features of this patch. Now, if you get caught, you can actually just shoot your way out of whatever.
Just like
you
real
can choose to shoot your way out of it, which I think I said this before. Like, they start letting you do that in the game anyway, but early on, if you get caught, you have to repeat the whole mission. And
it was terrible.
It was awful. And why did they do that? I have no idea. I speculated that it was because of the Ubisoft thing. They start you off not powerful, and you get more powerful as you go. And bad stealth was just one of those things.
The game just needed a few more months in the oven, eh? And some user testing.
I don't know that they would have removed stealth from it, the forced stealth, even with a few more months. I think they needed player feedback.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Some real play testing
to have this removed. So
but that's kind of where we are now, right? Because we're all just beta testers.
I'm okay with that, actually.
I'm not.
I'm okay with that. You are? I'm all right with it, yeah.
No, I hate paying
because back in the day, if a game came out that you wanted to play and you were really looking forward to, and it had a shitty part like the forced stealth, there would be no way to fix it.
I think we're talking about two different things.
Okay.
I understand being happy that they can fix problems now.
Yes.
Post-release. But what that's translated to has been rushing something out the door when it's not finished.
We can release a game.
Completely different things.
We can knowingly release an unfinished game.
Right.
And then spend the next 9 months finishing it.
Well, it's always a bit of a balance.
We missed this. It's
always a bit of a balance.
And then we'll try to patch it, but it's still not
Ubisoft,
done.
I think financially they probably needed to launch Star Wars Outlaws. They couldn't hold it. So
that's not great for the people who pay $100.
That's what I'm saying. Is that's
for their unfinished game.
You're right. It's not good for that, and I think they're sort of paying the price for that.
A problem, by the way,
in the
that is solely on the executives.
The two of you are just talking over each
other. The court of public opinion.
I just want to make sure that people know that I am not blaming the developers for this.
No,
this is 100% on the suits.
Yeah, the people who are looking at the budget timeline and sometimes you have to. I mean, you push it out, right?
Well, that's the thing, and I mean, I guess that's kind of
Ubisoft going in the aftermath of their quadruple A Skull and Bones release in the spring. Like they probably had to.
Yeah.
I don't want to tell Yves Guillemot how to run his business, but
it's just another example of poor planning.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, anyway, hey, Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D. There was a quote from one of the producers when asked what other Square Enix game they would like to see get the HD 2D treatment next. They replied, Final Fantasy VI.
And so does everyone else. Everyone else. Square Enix, pay attention to your producer. Oh my God.
No kidding. The quote from producer Masaki Hayasaka is, it's not that we have concrete plans for this, but personally, I would have to say Final Fantasy VI. Octopath Traveler, the first HD 2D title, was developed while referencing Final Fantasy VI as it had the highest quality pixel art. I would love to see how the game we referenced would look in the HD 2D art style. I absolutely and wholeheartedly agree. Square Enix, get on it.
Dabbled with it a little bit, right? Because the opera scene in the Pixel remaster
is
done that way.
That way. Yeah. That's true. But, apparently Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D is selling exceedingly well in Japan.
Good.
And probably doing pretty well overseas, too. And hopefully that means we get more of this stuff, because I am totally there for it. Yeah. All right. PlayStation Portal owners, of which we are 3 right here.
So half of us
have the PS Portal got a software update this week that improved some things. First of all, it improved the quality of streaming locally. So if you were somebody who tried the Portal before and you noticed a little bit of micro stutter in gameplay, that now is gone. No micro stutter when playing remotely, which is awfully nice. Yeah, I found it tolerable. A lot of people did not.
Yeah, so, I agree. It was a thing. It didn't bother me too much.
It didn't bother me, but it was there.
Me. Yeah,
it was there. Well, it's gone now. So that's a great little update there. And then additionally, if you are a PlayStation Plus premium member, you can now test cloud streaming for select PS5 games that are available on the PS Plus game catalog, which includes Grand Theft Auto 5, which I tried using the cloud streaming beta, and actually it worked really well.
Oh, did it really?
It worked.
Yeah, I haven't tried it yet.
It worked super well. So when you when you update, and then it mentions that, hey, I can also stream from the cloud now, you put in your PS Plus, your PlayStation login credentials. It gives you a new heading when you turn the system on, whether you want to remote play or play on the cloud. And it works super well. It's great. Yeah. So highly recommend updating your PS Portal software and trying out the cloud beta, but also trying out the improved remote play, because it is great. All right. Let's see. I think that Greg added a new news story to the outline while we were talking. And so you're gonna introduce this one, Greg.
Yeah, so it was just a cool little thing that happened this week, but of course it's controversial for some reasons. Which is that, of course, the Sonic 3 movie is coming up. The Sonic 3 movie trailer, I think, comes out this week. A new one, anyway. There has been one already. And so to promote this, Sega actually sent Genesis cartridges, Sonic 3 movie Genesis cartridges, to various media outlets and influencers. And it's in a traditional Genesis game clamshell.
Nice.
And it works in your Genesis.
Really?
Yeah.
What's on
it? It's a bunch of
virtual VCR.
Posters. Yeah. Bunch of promo posters, a little mini game that's not much of anything. It's Sonic running towards the screen with Shadow chasing him.
Okay.
But apparently if you use a cheat code, it jumps to something. It just says, it opens up a new menu option that says this trailer with a question mark, but doesn't do anything. So I'm not sure what that's about. But yeah, so it's a cool little thing, right? Because it's an actual Genesis cartridge. It's in a clamshell. It's got like the red Genesis bar treatment on it, and then just a render of probably the movie poster. Of course, the controversy being that it was only sent to media outlets and influencers, and probably is not for sale anywhere.
Someone will rip that.
Someone will rip it, yeah, and hopefully somebody will make a slipcase for a clamshell, because that's really cool. And absolutely, if somebody starts selling them like bootlegs of them in decent cartridges, I will be jumping all over that. Kind of cool. Cool idea. Pretty neat.
Sure.
Not really much else to say about it, but I just thought it was why not? That's a great way to advertise your Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Absolutely. I love that.
Famously, Shadow the Hedgehog introduced in Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And
yeah.
That's it. That's all it was. I just
somebody said he was introduced in a real turd of a game, and somebody didn't hear that all the way, and they said, "Oh, the third game."
Is that how it went?
That must have been how it went. All right. We're all done with news, so let's hop into what we've been playing. I'll go first. I booted up Tetris Forever finally.
Congratulations.
I know, and started watching it. What a great thing.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, just great footage that they got, great interviews, everything that we've said before on this show for the last 2 weeks. Absolutely true. So worth the $35 to have a great Tetris documentary. Not that we didn't have one already, but this is even better. Yeah.
Yeah. So you finished the whole thing?
What do I look like? You think I finished the
whole
thing? No, I didn't finish the whole thing.
No.
Go back and finish.
What do I look like? I'm made of time?
Jesus Christ.
Exactly. His power was out for a while.
Yeah.
He didn't have power.
Give me some slack, Jack.
Get on the bus, Gus.
It's really awesome. The final chapter is fun because it really focuses on the relationship between Hank Rogers and Alexei Pajitnov. It's actually like very endearing. But kind of what I said last week, what I was saying last week, that I was kind of bummed about the the games that are included that didn't get better. If anything, it got worse. Although Tetris Time Warp is pretty well done, I have to say. I don't know if you've played that yet. That's a lot of fun.
I did play a bit of it.
Yeah. I don't necessarily get, I shouldn't say that I don't get it. I do get it, but like the whole twist in that game is that when certain pieces drop and then you create lines using those pieces, you can get warped back to different versions of, and it's usually a version of Bombliss or Game Boy Tetris, and you have like a, or even like the old original and everything, but you have like a
Electronica 60.
Yeah, you have like sort of a mission that you have to complete in X number of seconds, like do a double line or, to clear 4 lines, detonate a super bomb, stuff like that. But I find that you have such little time. It takes me way too long to get oriented in those moments. Like I'm reading what I'm supposed to be doing. And of course, it's a completely different block configuration than what you were just playing.
Right.
So it's like, this is a cool idea, but I really suck at it. But it is fun. I've gone back and played it a lot. But yeah, I just like, I just have to echo what I said last week. It's such a shame that, I think especially as console gamers, Tetris is famous because of the Game Boy, because of the NES, the Nintendo version and the Tengen version.
Yeah.
And, also the arcade versions, and just that none of them are on there. I know they can't. I get why they're not on there.
It sucks though. I'm in agreement.
And it's a shame because from the documentary, the film documentary side of things, this is the best they've ever done.
Yeah.
Like it's so well done, but it's a shame that it kind of is hamstrung by the rights issues that mean that the games we're talking about, and they reference these games so many because they have to. You're telling the story of Tetris. They have to talk about the NES game and the Game Boy game and the Tengen game, but you can't play them. And but you can play like 5 different versions of Bomb Bliss. Who cares? But they're there, like of the 18 games, I think a full third of them are Bomb Bliss.
Well, apparently, and I heard this on the 8-4 Play podcast, apparently Bomb Bliss was very, very popular in Japan. And that was like the popular variant of Tetris in the 90s. So like presenting those games,
well,
I mean,
like it seems like at least you've got 5 different versions to play on this.
Yeah.
And even things like they talk about Weltris and talk about Blockout and all this stuff. And it's like, none of them are there.
Yeah.
None of them are there.
Yeah.
Face Tris.
Faces.
Yeah. Yep.
Tris 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry to be a downer. The documentary is fantastic, but
it is
from the, looking at it from the standpoint of the style of documentary that Digital Eclipse is trying to perfect. Not having the games you're talking about as going back and looking like at Atari 50, which I get, they have a lot more to choose from there. But oh my God, like anytime they reference the game, it's like, oh, in here, now you can play it.
Yeah.
Whereas this, it's like, man, remember Tetris from Tengen and on the NES and Game Boy? And
let's all
here's
take a moment to close our eyes and remember.
Or 3 versions of Hatris. So anyway.
Yeah.
Bit of a bummer.
Well, it's a great collection anyway.
It is.
I'm glad it exists.
And Tetris Time Warp is quite fun. I recommend. I've been going back and playing that a lot.
By Jason Cirillo, I believe, from Digital Eclipse. Really, really great guy. Really super cool follow on social media, or at least he was on Twitter. I don't know if he's still on social media post X explosion, but anyway. And then I played some more Echoes of Wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm stuck in a room in the ice area. And I'm like, I don't know.
Just make some beds. Climb out.
Have you tried beds?
It's not beds. The answer is not beds. No, the answer in this case is not beds. I've tried that.
Phil,
tried it.
You finished the game. Is the answer beds?
Well, let's hear the puzzle. What do you got to do?
I don't remember. Oh, yes, I do remember.
You have to have a nap.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Actually, I don't think I do remember. Shoot,
you don't remember?
It was one of those bits where I'll.
It's probably a bed.
Okay, I'll try a bed.
It's probably you got to make some beds.
I'll try a bed.
Stack them up like.
It's a solid plan. Well, it's actually not really a solid. It's a pretty soft plan, but
yeah.
I do have Zelda's bed.
Well, that requires
the softest bed.
That you don't want to be stacking Zelda's bed. It requires too many little triangles to.
Well, that's true.
Spawn the basic bed.
The basic bed.
That's your functional bed.
Okay, I will have to do that.
Yeah,
I suppose. So I'll send you a screenshot of where I'm stuck.
Okay,
I'm sure you can take one look at it and
I'll open it up in Paint and draw where you should be placing the beds.
Just tell me what echo I need to use. I think is the potential issue.
Is this something where you need to have possess something and move it around?
Maybe possess.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Pretty sure not.
Okay.
Of course, I'll probably load up the game to take the screenshot and immediately have it, immediately solve it.
I mean,
and move on. But we'll see.
That's how it works sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I find in that game, if you have solved similar puzzles a certain way and then you run into something like it wasn't the way you were supposed to be solving them, and then you run into a puzzle where that old janky method isn't going to work, then you're like, well, what do I do now? Because the previous puzzles increased in difficulty in a sequence, and I was using the wrong thing, and now I don't know what I'm supposed to do for this other thing. Yeah. I always check like the last granted echoes, or like the last ones I collected.
Right.
To see, because normally in like the progression of this game, you probably will need to use
gameplay loop. You get an item and then you use it to solve puzzles.
Right. Exactly. Yes. It's that tried and true. I almost said
the difference between that sort of game Zelda. And a physics sandbox.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm a little stuck in that. And then I played the demo of Dynasty Warriors Origins.
Yeah. So what's this?
Yeah, I didn't even realize there was a demo out for this.
There's a demo out. Yeah, and you should download it. It is a new Dynasty Warriors game from Koei and the Omega Force team, and it's sort of they're rebooting it.
So is it a one-on-one fighter again?
No,
not interested.
It is not a one-on-one fighter. It is a 1 versus 500 or 5,000 or 1 million troops. Wait, that's a different game.
That's a different.
But it looks great. It looks really good, and unfortunately, well, I have two criticisms. One, the text is so goddamn small.
Maybe it's just because you're so goddamn old.
Well, that is a possibility. I haven't.
Have you tried hooking it up to an HD TV?
I have a 65-inch television and a couch that is, 10 feet away or less, and I was struggling to read the text.
Oh my goodness!
I was like, I hope there's an option to increase the size of the text. But and I have old man eyes. That is true. But then the English dub, not that great.
Oh yeah?
I was kind of surprised. I was like, at this point, Koei is no stranger to needing to localize Dynasty Warriors games into English. I think they would do a little better on that. I don't know. It's a little strange, but I'm curious to see what you think of it, Phil.
I'll have to try it.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, it's the Dynasty Warriors gameplay loop. Here's a big battlefield. Here's some points of interest there.
You normally don't like the Warriors games unless they're like
I normally don't. You're right.
Attached to a franchise you enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they need to be attached to a franchise, but
and you don't.
I thought this one was still pretty cool. I do.
But like Chinese history?
Yeah.
That's Dynasty Warriors.
I don't know. That's Dynasty Warriors. Yeah, I mean, I could get into it.
Maybe you're going to learn a little history?
I would like to try. Learn some history.
Call it a little ridiculous. I'll be honest. I've learned some Chinese history. I've learned some Japanese history.
Yeah,
from playing those games.
Okay.
Your buddy Mike has actually read those Romance of the Three Kingdoms novels.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Because he's crazy.
I'm not going to read.
No, that's for nerds.
I know.
Besides, the subtitles in this are too small. I can't read anything. But yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. And yeah, I was trying to figure out how to run, and I think you hit R2, or is it
D2?
L2 or L3, and you hop on a horse. I was like, oh, this is cool. All right.
Yeah. They stole that mechanic from Zelda Echoes of Wisdom.
I'm on my high horse.
With Epona?
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, I quite enjoyed it.
Well, good.
Yeah.
What did you download?
I'll have to.
That on the PlayStation 5?
Yeah, PS5.
Okay.
Yeah. Give it a whirl.
Try that out.
Yeah, it's also available on Steam and maybe other platforms as well. But all right, that's all I've been playing. So, Greg, what do you got for us?
I was playing some Tetris Forever, but I already talked about that. And then otherwise,
did you finish it? Did you finish it? Did you get the final kill screen?
To clear all the lines?
Sure.
I don't believe you.
Did you make the space shuttle take off? Oh, no, wait.
That version's not in the game.
Oh.
Can you really say you've played Tetris if Mario hasn't watched the space shuttle launch?
Exactly.
No. Well, that's coming to NSO at some point. I think they said by the end of the year.
I don't care.
By the end of the year, it'll be out. So
I do care. I'll play that. But
yeah, me too.
But I ended up getting Dragon Quest 3
HD 2D.
Yeah, and boy, oh boy, is that game pretty!
It is so pretty.
Crap.
Yeah,
is that game pretty?
Yeah,
like I'm floored by how good it looks.
Really does.
And sounds too. The music is fantastic.
Stellar.
Yeah.
Stellar. You have the Tokyo Metropolitan Orchestra doing the tunage.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I think anyway. Just guessing.
And it's got all the quality of life stuff that you want. Although I find that they I didn't say they hid some of it, but like doing the sort of auto equipping thing is like a little button prompt to hold triangle when you're in like sort of the top equipment menu and stuff. Like some of those QOL things that they add to these old role-playing games I feel like they're in weird spots. Like I just only discovered tonight that you can actually save anywhere, but you have to do it through like a different menu.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like you can just put your system to sleep, and as long as you don't launch anything else or it doesn't update, you go back to where you were. But otherwise, it was like, it really seemed like, this is old school. I have to get back to a church before I can save. It's like, this kind of sucks. And then tonight, I realized that if you go into like the options menu, there's an option to stop playing and return to title.
Oh.
But it's like it's buried in a completely different screen.
Well, they don't want you to abuse that,
right?
I guess.
So, I don't know. Which was good because I finally hit the point in the game where I feel like it's starting to ramp up difficulty wise. Like I'm trying to climb this tower where the enemies have just gotten much stronger. The game's pretty stingy with gold, so I haven't been able to buy all the best equipment. But I keep sort of charging forward anyway, and it's a long walk between that tower and the last town you're in, even if you're running, because they did add that as well, a running command.
Running. Seems like you got to do some grinding.
I do. That's what I'm saying. So I've gotten to the point where that's a thing now. So I've also, coincidentally gotten to the point where I turned the difficulty down. So
you're not doing normal? You're doing...
I was doing normal, down. And then I've bump the difficulty down, which you can do mid-game, but you know what? It's not a cakewalk. Still, it's still challenging, and you still have to do some grinding, and it's just a little less chance of your characters dying, because I was having that happen. So yeah, I'm happy that I got to change that, but God, the game looks so good.
It
Final
does.
Fantasy VI needs to be done like that so badly.
Yeah.
One thing that I don't understand.
Do it.
Yeah. One thing that I don't understand, and I don't remember this because I did play through Dragon Quest 3 on the Game Boy Color when they really, really re-released the Game Boy Color version, which was pretty much just a remake of the NES game. But clearly you're supposed to swap out your characters every now and then, recruit new ones, maybe?
Party members.
I don't understand when or why I would do that.
Different jobs will give them different skills.
I don't think is that something you unlock later? Like different jobs?
It must be. Well, options? There are different types of characters that you can create from the second floor.
Right. No, I get that. What I'm saying is, like, are you expected to create a party right at the beginning and carry that through, or is there a reason to go back and change them out? And
that's a good question. I don't know.
I just don't.
I just took the default party, and then I'm listening to podcasts that say you shouldn't do that. Yeah. I'm like, oh, well, maybe I should go back.
The default party, the two magic users are kind of suck.
Kind of weak.
So, yeah, I might go back and mess with that a little bit too, but I mean, I don't know if that's sort of a nitpicky thing. It's one of those situations where it's like, I don't quite get, am I meant to be swapping them out regularly, or is it meant to be that I've more like an original Final Fantasy thing where I've created this party and now this is what I want to finish the game with. You know what I mean? Because it feels like there's a fair amount of stuff you're missing out on by doing that as well. I keep picking up all this equipment that I can't use, and meeting a bunch of monsters that I'm recruiting.
Sell it.
Well, I do sell it, but anyway, still really great. I'm hoping this is 2024. Man, it's just filled with games that I played for a few hours and didn't go back to, and I really, really hope that this is one that's going to hold my interest right through till the end. Because
here's the problem:
the last few big ones have not done it. And that's not too many good games. It is
too many good games.
It's not me wanting to move on. It's because I don't do that generally. If there's something I'm interested in, I'll play through it. But like Star Wars was not it. Zelda was not it. It kills me. But Mario and Luigi was not it. As badly as I wanted it to be, I have not turned that game on in a couple weeks.
Have you considered maybe you have outgrown video games?
I'm starting to worry about it.
There you go.
So I'm hoping this one is great so far. I'm hoping Indiana Jones is really good next month.
Yeah.
That's like 2 weeks away or something.
Oh,
like
gosh.
That. Like
that's
it
soon, huh?
is very soon.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So because the games that I really thought were going to sort of live on my top 5 this year, I totally dropped them. So
I see.
That's it. That's all I was playing.
All right, Phil.
Yes.
It's your time to shine. I actually played a little of this game as well that you're going to talk about.
It's always my time to shine, baby.
A very little bit of the game that you're about to talk about.
Really?
Yeah.
You played a bit of the Marvel Capcom Fighting Collection?
Wait, no. That's not on the outline.
Which I got my physical copies of this week. Thank you very much.
Nice. Okay.
That's an old game, but the physical editions just came out, so
nice.
I did get those.
Yeah.
As someone, I posted on the Blue Sky that I got the PS4 and Switch physical copies, and someone questioned me why I got both. And as I explained, because those games are going away at some point.
Absolutely, they will.
Those games, obviously, they're going to vanish from stores just because that's how, games go out of print.
Yeah.
But also, those will disappear from digital services.
So they can be brought back later.
They
probably
could.
But you want to have a physical copy so you don't have to deal with that.
Does not mean will be.
Yeah.
So now I have the physical copies before the inevitable time when those games disappear.
I see.
So,
okay.
Until such a time when the government shows up to forcibly remove those games
from your cold, dead hands.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
But the game that I assume you were referring to is the Lego Horizon Adventures, which I have continued to play a bit.
Yeah.
In the brief periods when I had electricity this week.
Yeah.
So you played a little bit of it?
Yeah, a very little bit of it. Yeah.
Like a stage, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think it's pretty cool, especially that it's a retelling of the original original Horizon game, at least in the beginning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm liking it.
Yeah, I played through just about another world, basically.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's, I'm enjoying it. It is very repetitive. Each world seems to kind of follow the same basic formula. You walk through a very predefined path. There will be little tributaries off of that main path, and they're all marked.
Yeah.
Yeah. There'll be a little line of gold Lego studs telling you this is the critical path.
Yep.
And if you notice a couple little silver ones, they're like, "Ooh, this is a."
I actually kind of like.
It's a tiny little diversion. Yeah, I mean, it's fine.
Yeah,
but it's very linear.
Sure.
In that sense,
I'm okay with that.
And so you just do a little. You're running around doing a little bit of light platforming. You get to a big arena where you fight a bunch of enemies. You do a little light platforming. You come to a big open area where there's like a trader who gives you new weapons, like little like sub weapons that you can use. And then you do another little platforming, another little group of enemies, a little platforming, little group of enemies, and then you were like, now I'm at the end of the level. And then you go back to the hub village, buy some power-ups, buy some new outfits, do some upgrades, whatever. Repeat, repeat, repeat. So it's very simplistic. That could
be fun. They should have done Last of Us in this style.
Jesus.
I don't think they will.
I don't think they will either.
I'll be honest. I don't think they're going to do that.
No, they probably don't want kids.
No. But it's a simple little game. It's chill. It's whatever. For me, it is surviving like 85% on its charm.
Yeah.
Just because I like the Lego aesthetics. Yeah. It is fun for me, just kind of identifying what pieces they used to build the structures in the world. It's kind of cute because, like, you're going through ruins of ancient cities, and the ruins are like some of the modular Lego sets. Like,
really?
Kind of go like, there's one part like you're going through the level, and like there's the ruined jazz club set, which I have on display out in one of my little cabinets there. And it's like, it's my set that I have.
Okay.
As an ancient ruin, and that kind of thing. And then the kind of humorous interpretation of the first game's story is fun. I like the cutscenes. The dialogue is all cute and funny. They obviously let the voice actors have a lot of fun. Ashley Birch,
I'm glad,
as Aloy, is really funny, doing like kind of a little light parody of her character. Whenever you're going across like a little narrow bridge or like using a zip line, it will occasionally she'll do like kind of this very comical like kind of like very just silly noises that always crack me up. Every now and again, like when she's shooting an arrow, or even like when bad guys come out, like when you're fighting like the cultist and they're shooting at you, they'll occasionally just yell out pew pew pew, or just kind of make little pew pew pew.
That's pretty good. I like that.
And it's like they do it like the right amount too. It's not like every time she shoots an arrow she's yelling pew pew pew. It's like they have it timed so it's like just enough where you're like, it's cute that she did it, as opposed to,
God, I wish she stopped doing that.
Yeah. So it's definitely getting by on its charm for me.
Cool.
But I could see why some people would not. That would not be enough for some people.
Yeah.
But I'm having fun with it, just kind of slowly going through it. And again, it's supposed to be like an 8 or 10 hour game, so perfect. I do kind of want to get through it.
Lego Ratchet and Clank would be good too.
I mean,
that would be great.
If you bought the digital deluxe edition, you get a couple extra outfits, and one of the outfits there's like you can dress up Aloy in like a Sackboy, like a Lego Sackboy minifigure, and then there is a Ratchet outfit and a Rivet outfit as well.
All right, I'm going to see if there's an upgrade that I can buy.
There is
for this. Okay,
because I bought it.
I very well may.
It's $10 gets you.
Okay, well then
whatever. I forget what else is in the digital upgrade. The digital deluxe upgrade, but yes, certainly the Ratchet and Rivet costumes are part of it.
The awesome,
and it's kind of cute. And again, this is me being a Lego nerd. The Ratchet skin. She has like the Lombax ear helmet, which is, not an existing Lego piece, but
yet
y'all got the digital files.
Yep.
You could just load those CAD files into a Lego extruder and go nuts. But when you have her in that outfit, she actually has Clank on her back.
Ooh.
And the Clank, again, this is just 100% me being a Lego nerd. So probably a couple years ago at this point, Lego made a little baby minifigure piece. And it's just, it's a tiny little, like one little piece. It has a separate head, but it's just a teeny tiny little baby piece that is scaled to the minifigures. And they came out with another piece that's a little like baby carrier, like one of those ones you wear like over your chest. So you just, you pop it under the minifigure's head, and then the little baby piece slides in, so you can have a Lego parent carry around a baby.
Okay.
But they have that little baby carrier piece on backwards, and then they have the little baby Lego piece repainted as Clank, just sitting in the back. And I was just
great.
Like, I really just give me a toy of that. That's all I need.
Yeah. They should. They should.
But yeah, so it's cute. It is very cute. But yeah, I kind of want to like I said, it's fairly repetitive. And having gone through like 2 worlds now, I'm just like, this does kind of seem like I'm doing the same thing over and over again. And I want to get back to ease. So we'll see what happens. But there's so much coming out. There's so much out.
There is. Yeah.
We were talking about the Star Wars.
Yeah.
Which I put down after I'm bouncing off of it because they're
the stealth
finishing it.
Yeah.
But now it's like I want to go back, but I got Ease sitting here. I got Indiana Jones about to come out. I got quite frankly another Ease, Oath and Felghana, comes out in January.
And then Pirate Yakuza.
That's going to be leading right into Pirate Yakuza.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
There you go.
But you know what else I got this week?
Tell us.
It's not a video game. If you follow me on the Blue Sky, you've seen this. I bought myself a 3D printer this week.
Oh no.
I've been wanting a 3D printer forever. And I finally pulled the trigger this week. Because Black Friday sales were happening, and I saw some reviews, and I the one I got, and it's sitting down here on the floor next to me. I need to buy a table for it.
Okay.
Because I originally had it up here. I had it here on my table behind me.
Yep.
The problem is this is an old table, and it's a little wobbly.
Oh yeah, you don't want that when you're trying to 3D print stuff.
Well, you know what the thing is. Because the one I bought, it's a Bamboo Labs, and it's their A1 printer, and it's kind of their low end, consumer friendly model.
Okay.
It was I think it was like $400 because I got the printer, and then I bought and it came with like an additional thing to hold like 4 spools of filament.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very nice because it's relatively cheap for a 3D printer. It is very easy to, like, I can figure it out. So it's easy to use because I'm an idiot when it comes to this kind of thing. And it's like fast. Like it I mean, stuff can still take several hours, but things that would normally take like 2 hours take 20 minutes to print.
Okay.
And one of the things it does, and this is why I moved it off the table, one of the little features it does when it calibrates itself is it does like a vibration test.
Oh.
So it just like...
Sounds sexy.
Oh. Trust me. It is. But also, trust me, the little plate like gets too hot. And that has resulted in issues. But it will start rapidly vibrating. It's got like a rumble pack built into it, and it'll just go and just start vibrating super fast. So it calibrates
too much for your
itself.
table. Clearly.
Yeah. So if it gets jostled during a print, it can compensate and not screw up the print. But as it's vibrating, as it's doing the calibration test, or even as it's printing, it's shaking a lot, and it's going to destroy that table if I leave it there. So I got to get a more solid,
a sturdier
table.
See,
but it is fantastic, and I love it. And I made a little boat.
I saw the boat.
I made a little boat. I made a black version too. All I have at the moment is I have black and white filament.
Yeah,
that's not true because actually a shipment of filament showed up while we were recording, so I have a couple more colors at this point. I have a big shipment of filament showing up, but it hasn't shipped yet.
So now instead of purchasing Legos and various toys at a high price, you can just make
bootlegs.
You just make your own.
I can make bootlegs. That's right. I made one of these little fidget cones. Have you seen these things?
No.
Look at this. So it's a little plastic cone. And look at this. Ooh, that's
satisfying.
Right?
Yeah.
It'll pass right through. You can take the inner core and you can put it in upside down and it just goes right through. It's crazy, right?
That's amazing.
That's right.
Okay.
For those listening, if you just Google search like impossible cone, and you will see like videos and animated GIFs of these things. They're wonderful. Yeah. It's so much fun. And
that's cool.
Listen to that.
That's satisfying. That's very satisfying. That's I'm sure there's an ASMR channel that just.
I'm starting my own
impossible cone.
Yes.
Friction.
Look at this. Scoop Joey in our chat.
Yeah.
Has said one useful thing I've 3D printed is cartridge organizer stands for retro games. Fantastic.
Perfect.
This is exactly the kind of crap that I'm going to be doing. So
that's right.
Please look forward to that.
Okay.
But oh my gosh, it's so
that's fun.
Neat.
That's fun.
It's so neat.
I look forward to all the things that you're going to print.
What's that?
I look forward to seeing all the things that you're going to print.
It's going to be a bunch of stupid stuff, I guarantee you. You'll appreciate this, CJ, as a former resident of the Chicagoland area. When it's printing, it smells like a Mold-A-Rama machine.
I love that.
It's like being back at the Brookfield Zoo.
Yep.
It's like being back at the Museum of Science and Industry.
Yep.
Getting melted plastic molds out of the Mold-A-Rama.
Zoo dolphin sculpture out of the Mold-A-Rama. Yeah.
Yep.
That's a good time.
Oh very my gosh. Time. So yeah. That's my actual new toy that I got. That's really what I've been playing this week is
3D printing.
3D printing stuff. So
cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Or I'm just calling it my replicator. Because
that's what it's doing.
Because I am a nerd. Yes.
All right. Well,
but that's it. That's what I've been playing.
Good deal.
It was a good deal.
I guess that means it's time for tweets.
Tweet.
All right, let's do this one from listener Joshua, who says, I've got Switch 2 on the brain. If you guys could force Nintendo to add something to Switch 2, what would it be? Doesn't matter how major or minor it is, just something you would like to see. Thanks, guys.
PlayStation support.
Wow.
I was going to say virtual console with all the games that were on the Wii, but
that ain't happening. That's not happening. I'm going to say Street Pass. Do Street Pass.
Yeah, actually, that's my real answer.
Yeah.
But that means I'd have to go outside. I don't want to do that.
Well.
But it was so much fun.
Yeah, I do miss Street Pass.
I miss Street Pass games. Yeah, those were
incredibly
fun.
I miss Swap Note.
Yeah. Badge Arcade. System themes and maybe a Badge Arcade so that you could construct
Badge Arcade.
Folders.
You guys were really into that.
That was it was so much fun. Yeah.
You know what? Give me a new Rusty's Real Deal Baseball, too, while we're at it.
Oh, that would be fantastic. That was absolutely the best.
Loved Rusty's Real Deal Baseball.
Yeah.
And it's super weird.
Monetization?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the weirdest monetization.
Where you had to, for those who don't know, you haggled with the main character of the game, Rusty, on the games that he was selling.
Yeah.
And you usually would get him down to a price and then you could buy it.
Yeah. It was so weird.
That was very weird.
It was such a bonkers Nintendo thing to do.
Yeah. But it somehow worked.
Hey, I'll sell you this game for $5. I don't know, Rusty.
I'll give you
seems like a little much. How about I can do $3.50?
Oh, I'm going out of business.
You know what? I changed my mind. I'm thinking maybe $2 now. Oh, what are you doing? You're killing me. You're killing me. Look at my poor son. You're taking food out of his mouth.
Too good.
My children will never go to college, but you really want this home run derby game. I understand.
Let's be fair. They were never going to go to college anyway.
Oh, my goodness. CJ.
All right. Josh asks,
all dogs go to college.
Second question. If Sega made a Sega Music app, what would you put in the launch lineup? This is one that
lineup.
Okay, so like Greg, you probably have some
like Nintendo's music app.
Yeah, where they only had.
So how did Nintendo do it though? Was it like based on just a game here and there, or was it like
no? Well, they had like a dozen or so, maybe more than that, games, and then they had things like the Wii Shop channel and incidental music from systems.
So you could have like the Sega CD boot up music.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Version 1.
Yeah. Oh,
absolutely.
Because that's the Sega CD booted music. Everything else is a pale imitation. Even the one that came before it in Japan. So
he's right.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
If I had to pick like some games, and we're not talking about Sega CD games because I could go on forever on that, but I think that you would have to have like Alter Beast. Like you kind of have to have Alter Beast in there.
Yeah.
Outrun. First Sonic Hedgehog, Outrun.
Definitely.
Got to have Streets of Rage 2. Got to have The Revenge of Shinobi.
Yep.
I would say some tunes from Super Hang-On. Thunder Force 3. Absolutely.
I'm going to throw Fantasy Zone out there.
Fantasy Zone.
Yes.
Fantasy Star 2.
Yep.
Fantasy Star Online.
Yes. I'm just going old school here, but
yeah, but PSO absolutely.
You got to have PSO. Bad Religion and
The Offspring.
Yeah,
can we get the Jet Set Radio soundtrack on there?
Yeah,
that'd be good. Yeah, there's a lot of good Sega music.
Afterburner tunes were all great.
Yeah,
some real classics there. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to choose from, but those are the ones that come top of mind.
Yeah.
Shadow Dancer, also the Shadow Dancer.
Did
soundtrack.
you say any of the Sonic the Hedgehogs?
Yeah, the first Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay, yeah. At least the first one.
Sonic R
and Chemical Plant Zone. Oh, Sonic R. Oh. Yeah,
Sonic R.
Daytona USA.
You know what?
Yes.
Sonic Adventure 2, which is a game that I absolutely do not like at all. It
does have a good soundtrack.
That soundtrack is outstanding.
Yeah. Cannot deny that.
Excuse me. The Shining series, especially the Genesis games.
Yeah.
Shining in the Darkness and Shining Force 1 especially have great soundtracks.
Yeah. There you go. There's plenty.
Yep.
Get Toe Jam and Earl in there.
Oh, yes.
Castle of Illusion.
Yeah. Oh,
boy, the Castle of Illusion.
The Genesis here, but
Quackshot. That's a deeper cut. That's
just have a Disney playlist in there.
Yeah. That wouldn't be in the launch lineup though. All right,
We're already working on like the second and third waves.
Yeah, that's right. We've roadmapped the first year.
Yeah, we'll get this all planned out.
Yep.
All right, listener Brian says, what is your favorite game that is furthest outside your usual wheelhouse?
Oh man.
Oh.
Favorite game outside your usual wheelhouse?
I mean, I haven't played it in forever, but I did really enjoy like NBA Jam back in the day.
Oh,
I was thinking about that the other day.
Yeah.
And I don't think that people who didn't live it understand how ubiquitous NBA Jam was.
It really was.
People who were not sports gamers.
No.
I'm the same. I mean, I guess I was kind of in that I played the NHL games every year.
Right.
But I wasn't a sports gamer.
Right.
And it just sort of, I don't know why, but NBA Jam popped into my head the other day. And it's like, everybody loved NBA Jam. Everybody loved NBA.
Yeah.
And that game was such a monster hit. It was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a great game.
And you didn't have to like basketball to love that game.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. So that's a great answer.
And Blitz to a
Blitz
smaller degree.
Yeah.
I didn't
think NBA Jam more, but
I didn't play the Blitz as much as NBA Jam, but I did play a pretty healthy amount of Blitz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy. Like, I think it's because I saw an ad for it in one of the old magazines I was sifting through, and it's just like, God, I don't know anyone who didn't play NBA Jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not like a driving game guy, but like Outrun and Ridge Racer, I got into both of those.
Same.
And I mean, I still play Outrun whenever I can.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know. What about you guys? Aside from like NBA Jam.
I would say something a little bit more recent would be, and now I'm forgetting the name of it, that arcade simulator that I loved so much.
What the
heck was that called?
Arcade Paradise?
Arcade Paradise.
Yeah.
Just because that's not the type of, I mean, I like the subject matter a lot, but that's not the type of game I'm really into.
I mean, like a business sim?
Yeah, like that's not me.
Right.
But I really, really liked that a lot. It was very light. I think that was the reason why. But yeah, that's the first thing that pops to mind. Because otherwise, I don't know. I feel like I definitely have genres that I stick to.
I mean, like, this is not the case these days, but like back in the 16-bit era, I was not into RPGs at all. Like those were just the kind of like, I wasn't super into like the whole kind of fantasy genre. I certainly wasn't into games, that are menu based and things like that. I was very much a platformer kid. So I was never into that, but I tried Phantasy Star 3 was my first RPG because I saw a extended preview or review in, I believe it was one of the Game Players magazines, and it looked interesting, and I tried it and loved it. And that kind of kicked off me enjoying RPGs, but
yeah.
So at one point that was accurate.
I would say kind of the reverse. Sorry, for the reverse point for me would be I liked shooters when I was younger, but I'm not a bullet hell guy. I don't like bullet hell shooters. Right. But Radiant Silvergun was kind of just towing that line, and I adore Radiant Silvergun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say maybe something like Dragon Quest Builders or Builders 2, where I can't stand Minecraft. I mean, I just, or the sorts of like building sandbox or crafting games, like that's just not something that I enjoy doing. I don't really enjoy that, but Dragon Quest Builders 1 and 2 especially, just was such a fun game, and it was all sort of structured, right? Where you didn't have to build the thing yourself or like come up with a design yourself or anything like that. So it was much easier to play than a standard like Minecraft style game. So I really enjoyed the hell out of it. Yeah, finished that. And then my daughter really loved it. She's finished it like twice.
I was going to say, didn't you play those with your daughter?
I did. And then she finished them again on her own, like two more times.
I think that definitely would have helped get over that whole, this isn't really the kind of game I play.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's true. All right. Let's do this one from listener Varia, who says favorite 2D mech games. Stuff like Mazinger counts.
It's pronounced Bazinga.
Bazinga. Favorite 2D mech game.
2D mech games.
Yeah, that's a little tougher, right?
Yeah.
2D mech games. Something like Cybernator is all I can really think of.
Yeah, I mean, that was the first one that came to my mind as well.
Target Earth, please.
Oh, yeah.
Target Earth, yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I always consider that more of a shooter. But anyway.
Oh, yeah.
For the NES, Metal Storm.
Yeah, that was the first one.
That's a good one
for me too. That was a really good game.
Metal Storm is friggin' outstanding.
Yeah.
Keith Courage in Alpha Zone.
It was not a good game.
It was Ranger X on the Genesis was quite good.
Yeah.
Counted as a favorite, but
yeah,
it was good.
Space Mega Force. That's not a mech game, right? Space Mega Force? No, that's just a shooter.
I mean, that was a good game. The Alesta games are mech games.
Yeah.
Flying a mecha and that. I mean, I have to go with like, do you remember Love on Saturn and PlayStation, obviously, because they're Macross games and they're actually really good shooters. But I mean, you are flying a Veritech or Valkyrie, whatever you want to call it in there. So
Veritech, yeah.
Shut up.
Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us, would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1 Podcast on various social media sites like Blue Sky and Threads, and also X. We're there too. But or hey, if you have an aversion to social media and you would rather contact us through more traditional means, you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you'll find our contact information. You'll find blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Stewart. You'll find Generation 16 episodes there, and you'll find show notes and links to all the things that we talked about during this episode and most other episodes too. Although the website is old, and this past week I couldn't update it. So maybe it's a sign that we need to revamp our entire website strategy.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get on top of that.
Well, Web 3.0 experience.
We're going Web 3.0.
Okay,
I know a guy who's real good at Web 3.0.
We're going to be selling some Player One NFTs.
We're starting our own.
Starting Popcoin.
No, it's called Baldness Coin.
Oh, we're going
old school.
Going old references, I say.
Goddamn right.
They're not Allards.
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 Too. Oh,
how many baldness coins are
an Allard?
Yeah,
I don't know. I think Allard is bald, so just one. Oh, it's a 1-to-1. You'll also find a link to our Discord server where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you would like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by loading up one of your favorite podcast listening apps. We're also on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can watch the video archives of our show on the youtubes.com/P1 Podcast, or you can watch us live most weeks on, the YouTubes, the Facebooks, right? The Twitch.televisions. Just follow one of our many social media accounts to find out when we are doing our next live show. Typically, it is Sunday evenings at 5:30 specific time. So join us, won't you? And I'll tell you what, if you like what you've heard, and how could you, head over to patreon.com/P1 Podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. Greg needs charging cables.
Yes.
And plenty of them.
Yeah, I don't need them. I've got two of my own.
You gotta get the ones that are fabric, like.
Oh, he needs the fancy fabric ones?
The fancy ones that are like monster cables that are indestructible.
He only uses the best, and that means monster cables aplenty.
God.
Does Monster make phone chargers? I'm sure they do.
$9.99 for a USB to USB-C cable.
Yeah, those are Canadian
Monster
prices.
Brand, gold-plated.
Only the
fella
best.
at Best Buy said they were the top of the line. And that's all Greg uses.
Best Buy employees, very trustworthy.
Best.
Yeah.
Okay.
What we'll actually use your money for. Greg can go scrounging around in other unlocked cars around town to salvage whatever cables he can manage to pilfer away.
Yeah.
What we will use your Patreon funds for, of course, is to keep our show running, this streaming, and all those costs that CJ deals with that we don't want to. But I'll tell you what, friendos. If you are a Patreon supporter of the $5 tier,
cheap,
you gain special access to a weekly bonus episode. We record it right after this, where we play games, crack wise, having fun, doing all that stuff we can't do on the regular show. CJ?
Yes.
I'm going to guess.
Give me a guess.
I'm playing the law of averages here.
Mm-hmm.
Based on the past several years.
Yeah.
Of us having games.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess. And you tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
But I'm going to guess that we have a game this week.
Phil,
tell me I'm right.
That the time had to arrive. Absolutely had to arrive. Just law of averages again, where we would not have a game. But that week is not this week. We do have a game. We are going to be doing a review game from the November 1999 issue of Electronic Gaming Monthly Magazine.
That's really wonderful news.
I know, right?
I'm sorry. All the lows and the highs are just too much.
I know.
Oh, you got me. But I mean, this is really wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you, CJ.
I was doing that thing they do in reality shows where they're about to vote somebody off and they're like, they do the misdirection. The misdirection in tone. You know, for some people, they get to the end of the line and their journey as a chef is coming to an end. But Phil,
yes,
today, is not your time. You are not going home.
Is what we would say on opposite day. Which is not today.
I watched too many reality cooking competition shows.
But then every other statement I say is a lie.
Yeah.
And every other statement my friend here says is the truth.
Yes.
Anyway. It's the after show. We got a game. We got an EGM quiz. Look at us.
Yeah, we'll do it.
What year is it from?
99.
99. Wow.
I know.
Okay. Well, that should be exciting. And I'll tell you what, if you have a couple bucks left over, why don't you head over to patreon.com/Greg Seward to help support Greg's outstanding, and it is outstanding web series about North America's favorite runner-up. And as we have discovered, home to some amazing soundtracks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The Sega Genesis.
Thank you, Phil. And if you are a supporter of the $3 variety,
that's even cheaper.
That's right.
Oh, what a deal.
You get early access to all the videos, but you should head over there anyway and just become a supporter, even if it's for $0.
The cheapest.
And you will get access to weekly blog posts that I am now writing.
Oh,
I said the first one last week. But yeah, please head on over there. Please support the show. I use that money for all kinds of good stuff, for all the different videos I work on, and I could really use the support.
There you go.
I need to buy charging cables. CJ won't let me use show funds for it. So.
Yes.
Is that it then?
That's it.
I say it.
Yeah.
CJ.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Phil.
Obviously. Gregory.
Yo.
Thank you as well.
Thank you, Philip.
Of course. And as usual, a big old thank you to you, the person listening. You.
Yes.
As always. Take
Not
care
me.
of yourself, your loved ones, your family, your friends. Be kind to each other. Be kind to yourself, my friend. And I hope, and I believe I'm speaking for my colleagues here when I say we all hope to see you next week.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.